Hi there! Thank you for watching this video. In this video, I'll show you how to configure and use duplicate check premium features to find duplicate records. After watching this video, you will have learned how to use frequent words, how to use DC job filter, how to use advanced merge rules, how to use direct processing, how to use audit logging. Let's get started. The Frequent Words feature within Duplicate Check lets the user enter frequent words that will not be taken into account when checking for duplicate records. Duplicate Check offers a standard list of common frequent words, but lets you also create a custom list with words that you can choose. The Frequent Words feature can be found on the DC Setup page under General Setup. Words can be added by clicking on the Add button to the list of your choice. You can go to a different list by choosing another tab. Duplicate Check has standard frequent words lists that can be easily applied to any field in your scenario. Opening the object in DC Setup and unfolding its scenario let you see all frequent word list options that you can apply to the field. For example, if you are working with a lot of universities, it can be good to add the word university in your frequent words list. Then, when comparing University of New York and University of Washington, Duplicate Check will only compare New York with Washington and see that it is not a duplicate value. Great! You now know how frequent words work. Let's move on to the DC job filter. By applying a filter before starting a job, it's possible to run the job on a subset of data. For example, create a duplicate check job for duplicate leads from the United States only. Or only compare the records that were created today with all other records. Configure the filter in the Add New Job model or work with predefined filters. Click the Plus Filter button to add a filter to the model. At Type, you can select what kind of filter you want to apply. In setting up the filter, it is possible to compare a subset of records with the same subset of records, a subset of records with all other records, a subset of records with a different subset of records, a subset of a source object with a subset of a match object. An example of this is if you only want to compare records from the United States. To achieve that, at Type, choose Set Filter. Make sure you compare the set filter with records that meet above filter criteria at Compare With. Compare records where country equals United States with records where country equals United States. Great! DC Job Filter is all set up and ready to use. Let's move on to the Advanced Merge Rules feature. When merging records within an object, Duplicate Check calls upon the merge rules to pick a master record and to determine what fields should be stored in that master record. The merge rules also determine what fields are pre-selected on the manual merge page, and the rules are executed when executing an automated merge. Learn how to configure the merge rules in this video. The merge rules allows you to group fields, after which you can assign the group a single merge rule. As a result, the fields in a group are always kept together in a merge. So, for example, group the email and email bounce reason and make sure they always stay together. Or decide to group a custom address field set, which is then kept together always, even if one of the fields in the group is empty. For groups, 3 rules are introduced: group with the most fields populated, divide values, and keep all values. In the merge process, the master record is picked based on the master record rule. Since the update, it is possible to determine the master record based on the record with the most fields populated, or the record with the most attachments. In addition, new field expressions on a value-based master record rule allow setting more advanced rules on text fields, such as starts with, ends with, or like. When deciding the master record based on a field and a field rule, a new rule is most common value. For example, decide that the master record has to be one of the records with the most common value in the email field. A setting lets you decide if end users working with the manual merge page are allowed to select a different master record. It could make sense to set a strict rule for defining the master record, which users are not able to bypass. You can now enforce this. There is an option to allow blank for every field or group, allow a blank value. If set to true, a blank value can be chosen as a winning value in the master record if the merge rule points to that record and value. When assigning a rule that can't always pick a winning record, group, or value, a fallback rule is available for configuration. The fallback rule determines based on rules that are always able to pick that winning record, group, or value. Great! You now know how the advanced merge rules work. Let's move on to the direct processing feature. The direct processing feature is a prevention tool that automatically merges and converts duplicate records at entry point without any user interaction. It can process records entering your Salesforce environment from web to lead, unique import/API bulk insert, or API single insert feature. For both convert and merge processing, you can choose from the following channels. Apply a search scenario to the web to lead, unique import/API bulk insert, API single insert/update. Example image below. To convert the records processed by direct processing, the cross-object feature should be enabled in the object settings. All actions performed by the direct processing feature, all duplicate records merged and converted, can be viewed on the DC Audit Logging page. Do not set the threshold too low. Merging false duplicate records cannot be undone. Great! You now know how direct processing works. Let's move on to the Audit Logging feature. After you enable DC Audit Logging in Settings, Duplicate Check will log all activity at the DC Audit page. Navigate to DC Setup page, and under General Setup, click on Audit Logging. It is possible to apply a filter in the DC Audit Logs. Access the filter page at the filter icon at the top right of the DC Audit page. Great! You now know how audit logging works. Find out more information about flow actions, Apex coding, record types on our support website. Thank you for watching this video. Learn more about Duplicate Check by checking out more articles and videos on our support website. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us.